Hello and welcome to Fun Beginner Champion Inspiration. If you're new to League and are looking for a fun and effective champion, this is the place for you. If you've got aspirations of becoming a bot lane Legolas, a mid lane Harry Potter, or a top lane Vin Diesel, I'll cover the champion for you. Today I'll be looking at Heimerdinger, the vertically challenged mid. In the right hands, Heimer can also do very well in the top lane, so if 4 team members scream mid at you, you have a backup. In League, last hitting is of prime importance, yet its value is often overlooked by the new players to whom last hitting is a tricky, unfamiliar inconvenience. Minions, like the Lannisters, defecate gold, but only when you land the killing blow. Heimer's Q, his turrets, trivialise last hitting. This allows you to focus on having fun and understanding the bigger picture of the game. While Heimer's turrets could get most of the CS for him while he shuts his eyes and dings himself into oblivion, you should still help them secure your gold, especially when your souped up canyon minions are dissolving the enemy casters. Take a point in Q, then E, then W, before maxing them in that order. Rockets are great for chunky, pokey fun, while a well-timed Heimer ball placed in the head of an enemy can secure a kill or your escape. Of course, your ultimate takes pointy priority whenever it's available. While we're on the subject of turrets, let's talk about the placement of yours. At the start of the game, I like going into the lane and planting the flower of death that is your first turret. There's a chance that the enemy mid might be lurking in lane waiting to destroy your deactivated turret the moment your back is turned, but more likely they'll be cowering in bushes guarding their buffs. After this, I go and whack a turret down at the buff your jungler is planning to say hi to first. Remember, communication is overpowered. Be sure to tell your jungler to let your turret tank the first few hits. This will ensure that your turret doesn't get above its station by stealing the buff. Helping your jungler will help your team and is well worth doing. You probably won't even miss any CS thanks to your premeditated turret placement. After waving goodbye to Tarzan, head to lane and get to work on the finest turret formation ever conceived. The turrety triangle of terror, and justice and joy. This triangle formation ensures an offensive and a defensive base from which you can rain havoc. If you're in the centre of the triangle and an enemy champion wants to have a square go, you'll force them to stare down the barrel of 3 turrets, as well as your dead, cold-blooded killer eyes. I like to start the formation in the middle of mid. The formation will stay or move reactively based on your opponent's playstyle and overall state of the game. If you've already slaughtered their jungler and have been in a shopping spree, push the enemy to the turret for maximum CS denial. Or, if they're eating your turrets up like breakfast, move the formation close to or under your turret, depending on what the context calls for. This ensures that you lose as little CS to your tower as possible, while also making it really hard for your foe to attack you or your tower. At first glance, Heimer seems particularly vulnerable to ganks, due to his lack of any escape. But if Heimer knows that he's in the enemy jungler's to-do list, he can completely turn the fight around. The key point being knowledge. Coordinate with your jungler and pink the river as soon as possible. If only one side of the river is warned, stay closer to it. This means that if someone tries to hug you from the fog of war side, they'll have a longer distance to travel in order to squeeze you to death. If you know a gank's coming, you have to make an informed decision. Is your turret formation healthy? Do you have your ultimate? Is your stun on cooldown? How healthy is your laning foe? Where's your jungler? Depending on the answer to these questions, you should stay and fight or go high-five your turret. If conditions seem favourable, stay in the middle of your turrets, bait them, drop a super turret, Zhonya's, stun them, as they realise they made a seriously bad decision. Making shopping lists is one of my favourite things to do in real life. They're just as riveting in League. Here's a couple of things to whack on yours. Start with a Doran's ring for bonus bling. Pick up a health pot as well in case you get thirsty in lane. From here on out, the shop is your oyster. There's not a strict order I follow, but there's always items I get. Athene's for cooldown reduction and mana, Sorcerer's Shoes for running, Zhonya's for striking poses and timekeeping, Deathcap for keeping your head warm, and Void Staff for when they start cowering under their masses of magic resist. After these items you could consider Banshee's Veil as a great defensive option, or Liandry's for stripping tanks of their bonnet. The order in which you get items depends on your access to blue buff, how your funds are looking, and how the game is going overall. Heimer's got a big brain. Live up to that by using your own. As a beginner, you won't have to worry much about runes or masteries, but I'll let you know what I use so you have an idea of where you're headed. I like to jam 3 AP Quints in Heimer's head, along with flat magic resist glyphs, magic pen marks and armor seals. For masteries, have a look at what I've got and feel free to copy or deviate as much as you want. Heimer likes experimentation. That's enough of me for one day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Heimer's a fun champ, go out there and give him a shot. There's never one correct way to play a champion. If you find something that works for you, roll with it, and let me know about it in the comments. Feel free to ask any questions and I'll get back to you. Happy Heiming!